What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 100, and in today's episode, guys, I have a special video for you for reaching 100 episodes in this series, for me to say thank you so much for all the incredible support on this series so far. So 100 episodes into my FIFA 16 Career Mode, and I just want to say straight off the bat, thank you all so very much for your incredible support on this series so far. Every single episode, I think, has had 1,000 likes or more, which is just absolutely phenomenal. So I can't say thank you enough for your support. It's been incredible, and I really do appreciate it so much. So to say thank you from me to you, I've got a special episode today, and I really do hope you guys enjoy it. Now, it's 35 minutes long, or possibly 36 minutes long actually, and in today's episode, guys, I have 3 commentary topics where I want to talk about some stuff with you guys. The first of which is going to be the future of my channel. The second is going to be why FIFA 16 is the worst FIFA I've ever played, and also my New Year's resolutions as well. Something light-hearted to end the episode off too. So 3 commentary topics today, over 12 games in the episode too. That's right, 12 games. I have never done this amount of games in one episode before. The reason why I'm not going to be commentating over the gameplay you'll be seeing is quite simple. I do feel kind of sad that this is when episode number 100 came around, but basically the games you'll be seeing aren't the most interesting. There's a lot of Premier League games, obviously. There's the Champions League round of 16 ties against Roma, and there's also an FA Cup round of 16 game against Fulham as well. But sadly for me, you know, whenever an episode 50 or 100 comes by and I make a special video for it, I'm always excited to show you at least one game which I think could be quite interesting, maybe like a Capital One Cup final or something, or a big title clash in the Premier League or something like that. But in episode number 100, we just came out of the January transfer window, so there's no sort of live deadline days I can do or whatever. There's obviously no Capital One Cup final, as we got knocked out by West Ham in an earlier round, and you know the timing of this episode basically came at the wrong time, sadly. So there's not really too many interesting things to show you, and also in the Premier League as well, we are sort of running away with it a little bit right now, if I don't mean to sound too boastful. So because of that, it's not really too many interesting games. There is a sort of a big one in the Premier League against Spurs away at White Hart Lane, but for the most part, all of the games are a little bit, not really worth commentating over. Certainly not for 36 minutes anyway. But still, there are 3 commentary topics. But again, right from the beginning, I just want to say, you know, thank you all so much for the support. I mean, it's incredible. This may be the first series of mine you've watched on YouTube. I know I've got quite a few new subscribers for FIFA 16. So those of you out there who haven't watched a series of mine before, obviously welcome. Hopefully you're enjoying these saves so far. And, you know, you may not be aware, but basically on episode number 50 or 100 of a long series, I'll always make a special video for you just to say thank you, really, because without your support, I couldn't do YouTube and these videos would not exist. So from me to you, to say thank you, I thought it's only fair that I'll make a special video, usually quite long, and just something which hopefully you guys will really enjoy. But anyway, guys, you know, 100 episodes in, I know that a lot of you guys have been a little bit concerned about the future of this series, what's going to happen after the 4th season. You know, so many of you guys have been thinking that I'll be starting a new series. Again, if this is the first series of mine you've watched, then basically you probably won't know this, but in FIFA, every single year I run at least one sort of main career mode. This is my main one this year, which spans quite a lot of episodes and gets into triple figures. We've now reached triple figures at 100, but my FIFA 13 career mode got to 276 episodes, my FIFA 14 one got to 270 episodes, and my FIFA 15 one got to 261 episodes. So we're at episode number 100 now, and it's crazy to think that based on the other 3 ones I've done in the last 3 years, this isn't really, you know, even halfway there yet. But what I will say is this, because I know that a lot of people are losing interest in FIFA this year on YouTube, it's not the best game to broadcast, I know that. I don't think I'll be doing that many episodes in this series. I might get to 200, I don't know, but we got into triple figures anyway, and the series will be continuing after season 4. Come the end of this season, if you've missed some of the episodes in this season already, that's fine. What I will say is this, come the end of the season, I've made it my intention to probably leave, but again, you guys will get to vote on a new team come the end of this season. So the series will be continuing, but it might not be at Watford. It might be, you can vote to keep me here if you want, but it might be a new club, but the series will be continuing from season 5 anyway. We won't be ending it come the end of this season. But anyway, guys, yeah, in today's episode, I have 3 commentary topics to talk about. The first is the future of my channel. The second is why FIFA 16 is the worst I've ever played. And the third one is something light-hearted, just 5 New Year's resolutions I have. And hopefully you guys do enjoy these commentary topics today as you're watching some gameplay in the background. So the first commentary topic, the first one I want to talk about is the future of my channel. And the reason I want to talk about this is quite simple. I've started doing live streams every Friday night, as you guys might be aware now, you might not be aware. anywhere. But on Friday night I do live streams, and in one of the streams I did in November, I think it was November, I discussed the future of my channel a little bit and discussed why I might be possibly making this my final year on YouTube, which will be really sad because it's been over 4 years now since I started. I started back in the summer of 2011. It's been over 4 years now. I have so much fun making videos, but it might be the final one, and that's quite simple. The reason being is quite simple. I've moved out. I used to do YouTube as a part-time sort of hobby to begin with. It was just for fun, really. Didn't make any money off it. It was just for fun. And I just sort of did it at home, just in my spare time, really, just something fun, something to keep my mind busy. And YouTube was always just a bit of fun, really. But I stayed living at home, ever since October 2015. So I was still at home and I had bills to pay, obviously. But I moved out based on my YouTube earnings in October 2015. I moved from my town down south to Manchester up north. For those who don't know, I live now in Manchester up north. So I moved up north this year, and I rent my own flat based on the YouTube earnings I make through my video views, which is incredible, I know. But sadly for me, I was predicting a little bit of a bigger spike going into FIFA 16. I've got a few more viewers than usual, but not as many as I was sort of required to have, really. And because of that, I'm a little bit worried about the future of my channel because, as someone who requires solely on YouTube earnings, look at this goal from Townsend, by the way, unbelievable. What a wonderful finish by Towns. As someone who requires, their YouTube earnings solely to pay their bills, when video views are dropping, it means that YouTube earnings are going to drop as well. So because of that, I've been very worried about the future of my channel this year, and I thought to begin this episode what I'll do is just discuss, what's going to be happening to my channel over the year and whether I'll be continuing with YouTube. Well, the first thing I want to say is quite simple. Loads of you guys have been commenting of late and basically just been asking me, for an update, I suppose, on what's going to be happening this year and how long I plan to be doing YouTube for. Well, the fact of the matter is, it is my sole source of income, so of course I'll be continuing for as long as I possibly can. What you guys may not be aware about me is that I love doing YouTube so much, and it really is what I would consider a dream job for me. For me, I've always wanted to do a job where I sort of can entertain people and can sort of brighten people's day, and in a way sort of make, if nothing too significant, a little bit of a difference to someone's day. That's always been quite important to me. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life when I left school. I left school when I was about 16, 17 years old, so many years ago now. I'm 23 now, turned 23 in November. I left school and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't go to university. I just wasn't smart enough for it, really. And I didn't really know what job I wanted to do, but I always did know I wanted to do something where I felt like my contribution to my daily job was meaningful in some way. I've never really felt inclined to do a job where it's a 9-to-5 basic mundane job where I just collect my paycheck at the end of the month and that's it. Like I want to do something where I feel valued and I feel like my contribution means something. And YouTube for me, I definitely feel that way. Now, I'm not gonna, sound like it's just the most important job in the world, because of course it's not. And to a lot of people, my videos may be nothing other than something you'll stick on in the background if you're bored, and maybe you'll enjoy them, maybe you won't. You never know, and that's about it. But for some people, they really enjoy my videos. For some people, they really look forward to watching them, just because it's nice to know that every single day I'm going to appear in their sub box and they have something to watch, really. And if they're not feeling too good, if they're feeling a little bit just sad and down about something, they can be a distraction from the problems that are going on in their life. And for me, to be able to do that, to be that sort of person that's able to try and lift some people up from time to time, again, for most people it doesn't really work that way, but some people it might, it means a lot to me. That's always been the most important thing on YouTube for me, to try and make content which is entertaining, enjoyable, and something which a lot of people will want to watch because they know it's something which can be, a distraction from maybe some problems they may be having in their day-to-day life, just something to take their mind off it, really. That's important to me. So YouTube for me is like a dream job. I love it so much. I love entertaining. I love the fact that I put my mind in the mind of subscribers, really. I put my eyes into the mind of subscribers, and I think to myself, about the people that watch my videos. I think about the people that are my subscribers and are my followers, and I put my mind into how they're experiencing their days, and I imagine them watching my videos after school and whatnot, and I love that kind of thing, and I'm just so grateful to have this as a job. So for me, you know, the future of my channel, you know, I want to continue doing YouTube. I want to say that right away. I want to continue doing YouTube. I don't treat YouTube as a money-making mechanism. I don't sit there and think, right, what can I do to get more money today? It doesn't really work that way for me. I enjoy making my own content which is different to a lot of people. I just enjoy making it, and I just hope it does well, and I hope people enjoy it, really. So for me, I want to continue doing YouTube. I want to say that straight away. I want to continue doing YouTube. I don't plan to do something different in a year's time. I would much rather continue doing this because I really enjoy it, and it's one of the most fun things I do in my day-to-day life. So I want to continue doing YouTube, that's for sure. But obviously the main problem really is because my video views have dropped a little bit. It's a little bit worrying for me, because when the earnings drop as well, and when you sort of require your earnings to go up a little bit, not go down, stagnate's bad enough on its own, going down's even worse. It's not great, obviously. It's a little bit worrying. So for me, I've had to think about possibly getting a job and a full-time job. And if that does happen, you know, if it does happen come the end of the year, for example, then I probably won't be doing YouTube anymore. And the reason being is quite simple again. You know, I don't really like the idea of just doing one video a week. And if I was doing a full-time job, I would not have the time to upload the amount I do right now. I upload 2 videos a day usually, sometimes just the once, but I also stream on Friday nights as well. And most days are 2 videos a day. And again, sometimes just 1, but most days are 2, plus the streams on Friday night. And if I got a full-time job, there's no way I could keep up with that schedule, obviously, because YouTube is a full-time job in terms of hours. It takes up all my time, plus a lot of my free time as well. So because of that, there's no way if I got a full-time job, I'll be able to maintain this schedule. And I don't believe that many of you guys would want to continue watching my channel if I was only doing like 1 video per week, for example, as that's all I'd be able to do, really, as I'd just do it in my free time if I got any, whilst doing a full-time job as well. So because of that, it does mean that, you know, the future of my channel does sort of depend on how this year goes for me. I discussed it before FIFA 16 started. This year's a big one for me, and I need things to improve, really. I only have myself to blame, though. I always say that. I can never blame my subscribers, because you guys are amazing. You know, the support you guys have shown me ever since I started YouTube, really, has been absolutely extraordinary, and I'm just so grateful for that. So I only have myself to blame based on why my videos aren't doing as well. I need to do better myself, and that's just how it is, really. So yeah, the future of my channel, you know, so many of you guys have been asking me about it, and so many of you guys have been saying, you know, what's happening? Are you really going to be leaving YouTube this year? What's happening? I don't want you to leave YouTube, so on and so forth. But the fact of the matter is, you know, all I can tell you right now is that it's December the 31st, New Year's Eve. By the time you're watching this video, it'll be New Year, 2016. All I can tell you right now is I don't know what will happen come the end of the year. It all depends on, you know, how things, and if things improve for me in terms of views plus earnings as well. We'll have to wait and see, basically. But what I will tell you is this: for the time I'm still on YouTube, I'm going to be continuing to make the best content I possibly can. Make the best content I physically can, and that's as simple as that, really. That's all I'm going to be trying to do. I'm just going to keep on trying to improve my content, going to keep on you know, putting out the videos, hoping they do quite well, and most importantly, making you my main focus as always, and doing what I can to entertain you guys, and just do the best I can. But you know, I will still be doing YouTube throughout FIFA 16. It's just, you know, come the end of FIFA 16, when it comes down to August time, for example, July, August time, September as well, where people have completely lost interest in the game totally because we're all excited for FIFA 17 when that comes around. You know, I don't know what will happen then I'll have to consider it even more strongly. But for the time being, I'm going to continue to push out the content, continue to make the content, try and make it as best as I possibly can for you guys, and hopefully that will be enough. So the future of my channel, quite simply, I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. Just as long as you guys know, I'm going to still continue to make you my main focus and do what I can to try and entertain you guys day by day, as that's what I've always wanted to do. So the second commentary topic today, that took, how long did that take? About 30 minutes, I think? Yeah, well, the second commentary topic today, trying to make it hours long. I want to talk about why FIFA 16 is the worst I've ever played. Now, a lot of you guys have been hearing me talking about FIFA 16 this year in streams and also in videos as well, where I've been saying things like, oh, I hate FIFA 16, it's not a good game, I don't like it, you know, and just... What kind of accent is that? You've been hearing me talk about FIFA 16 and why I don't like it, and why I've said it's the worst game I've played. I've played FIFA since '99, guys. I'm quite old, as I said before. I'm 23. I'm quite old, and I've played FIFA since '99. By the way, check out this goal, by the way. A Burkamp flick assist from Buffon. Have you ever seen that before? Completely unintentional, I'll be honest. And what a finish by Loftus-Cheek as well. But either way, looked pretty nice. But yeah, I've talked about why FIFA 16 is the worst I've ever played in that terrible accent. Clearly, that's a good impression of me, isn't it? I've talked about why FIFA 16 is the worst I've ever played. And, you know, I have played FIFA since '99. You know, I've played FIFA since '99 and owned a copy since '99. And, you know, FIFA 16 is by a long distance the worst I've ever played. You know, I've played some bad FIFAs in my time. I've played some good FIFAs in my time. For those that are wondering, my favourite one is FIFA 11. But FIFA 16, just without a doubt, without any shadow of a doubt, is the worst FIFA I've ever played. You guys have been hearing me say that so many times, but you haven't really heard me explain it. So I think it's only fair that I do explain why I don't enjoy FIFA 16, mainly for those of you out there that do enjoy it and wonder why my experience differs. So what I will start off by saying is that there are some positives to FIFA 16. There are some positives, you know, there really are. EA haven't, you know, completely botched the game completely, even though they have sort of botched it quite a lot. There are some positives to FIFA 16 this year, and I want to explain what those are, because I think whenever we criticise something, we should always give some positives as well. We should also be positive as well as negative too, and I want to give some positives to FIFA 16 before we start. So there are some positives to EA's game this year. The first one is that goalkeepers are better this year. They still do make a lot of mistakes, particularly when the ball's at their feet, but they still do make a lot of mistakes. But the goalkeepers are better this year, and I don't think anyone can really deny that. They don't make as many mistakes as last year, particularly their aerial ability this year has been far improved. Last year, if you swung across into the centre, or I should say, if your opponent crossed the ball into the centre and your goalkeeper comes for it, I would say that a third of the time your goalkeeper will get either nowhere near it or drop it or do something stupid. This year, goalkeepers' aerial ability is far better, and just in general, I think they save a lot more shots as well, which is a lot better this year. Because last year, I think they were severely underpowered. So goalkeepers, yes, they still make mistakes, but goalkeepers always make mistakes in real life as well, so that's fair enough. Goalkeepers are better, though, in general, and EA did a good job with that. The foot draft is fun. I enjoy playing the foot draft. Tomorrow morning, if you're watching my Road to Division 1 series, firstly, thank you. It's my favourite series I've ever made. The foot draft is fun, and I'll be uploading the foot draft final tomorrow morning. Looking forward to that. I haven't played that yet. Hopefully, I'll win, but I'll probably lose now I've said that. But the foot draft is fun. That's a new game mode this year. I enjoy playing it. Loads of people enjoy it as well. It's a fun game mode. EA did a good job with that one. The third positive to this year's game is that pace is not as effective, nowhere near as effective. That's a really good thing, and I'm very happy about that, mainly because in previous FIFAs, it was all about what the fastest team was you could build. You know, so many people, for example, would build like bronze English sides, for example, on the team, and just, you know, abuse the noobs, if you will, to FIFA, just by running into the goal most times, just by using the quickest players, and that's because physical attributes meant everything, and technical attributes weren't as important. This year, pace is not as effective. It is still quite effective, yes, and pace will always have some kind of influence in FIFA. That's always going to be the case, but it's not as effective this year, so that's a good thing, and well done to EA for toning it down a little bit. I think that was necessary. And the fourth thing is female footballers. I've added female footballers this year. I think that's a good thing, because obviously most people don't really care about the game mode, and that's totally fine, but female footballers send a message of gender equality, really. There are loads of female football fans out there, and FIFA players too. I think it's about time they were represented in the game in some format. They are this year. Well done to EA. That's really good. It sends a good message of gender equality. Now on to the negatives, and there's quite a lot, but I'm not going to discuss them all in today's episode, because quite frankly, we'll be here forever. This video is 36 minutes long. If I was to discuss all the negatives, we'll be here for about 3 hours. But I'll discuss a few negatives and some key ones, really, and maybe hold some back for an actual proper commentary topic, not just one that's in the mix with two others as well. So, some negatives to FIFA 16 and why I don't like FIFA 16 in general. First thing first, and I think it's pretty relevant because we're playing career mode right now, career mode is absolutely terrible this year. It's the worst career mode. You know, I honestly can't remember playing a career mode as bad as this one. I'll say that right now. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible career mode. I want to discuss career mode in a commentary topic on its own, though, in the future. I want to do a career mode wish list this year. I've never done that before. I've discussed it in an episode before, but never actually like a few videos in a series, a career mode wish list. So I'm going to do a career mode wish list this year. So I'm going to hold back some ideas for career mode in the future. But just in general, as you guys will know if you play it yourselves, career mode is absolutely atrocious this year. It's awful. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible game mode. EA have done basically no work on it whatsoever. They've added training. Good, that's okay. We like that. Pre-season tournaments, okay, a little bit of a novelty, but fair enough, it's not too bad, and that's about it, really. Career mode this year is just absolutely awful. There are still so many limitations and flaws with it. Again, we'll discuss it in more detail in the future, but the first things first, I'm a career mode YouTuber on FIFA, you know, for the main part anyway, and it's just awful this year. It's terrible, isn't it? So career mode terrible, I hate that. It's really frustrating. The second thing is that passing this year is atrocious. Going to discuss some gameplay stuff. Passing is atrocious and just awful this year. The passes are just so inaccurate, and I find it really really funny how this year's tagline for FIFA was "Play Beautiful." You heard Pele talking about it in the trailer. It's "Play Beautiful" this year in FIFA 16. Well, sadly, I don't play beautiful in FIFA 16. I play a FIFA 15 style, but it's a lot more difficult this year. The fact of the matter is, passing is the main reason why FIFA 16 is a broken game in terms of the gameplay, in my opinion. We were under the impression, or most of us were under the impression this year, that we could have some fantastic passing goals with really neat, intricate build-up, but I've scored like, what, 3 or 4 since the game began, which is about the same as FIFA 15. It's just as hard as last year, if not harder this year, because the passing, so many of them, so many passes you play are ridiculously accurate regardless of the stats of your players. I understand if you're managing a team or using a team which has, lower rated players for passing stats, for example, it's not going to be too easy just to split a defense open with little neat passes, little neat triangle passes and so on. But when you're controlling players with really good passing stats, like right now I am with Watford, with some really decent technical players, I still find it ridiculous how so many of the players can't play a simple 10-yard pass to their teammate. It seems to go like, 5 or 6 feet astray one side or the other of them. It's really annoying, but this year I was under the impression that coming into the game, and the reason why I was so optimistic about this year's FIFA and why I was looking forward to it so much was because I was thinking that finally now, after many years, we're going to be able to play like Barcelona style, some really nice simple passes that can open up a defense and split them open. But in this year's FIFA, it just doesn't happen, at least not for me. Passing, I find, is really poor, and there is some build-up and some goals that I'll score during this series you might have seen, particularly the season before last, for example, where I scored a couple of really nice passing goals, but for the most part, it doesn't really happen for me. I think passing is just completely atrocious, and one of the big problems why I find passing so annoying this year is that it's just so inconsistent. It really is. Like, sometimes you'll be coming towards the end of phase, an end of a build-up, where you're nearing your opponent's penalty area. You've had quite a few good passing moves in succession, and then your players will just, their legs will turn to jelly, and they'll just completely underhit a pass when it was really simple. It was a really simple one to play, a lot more simple than some of the moves in your build-up. I think passing this year is just awful, and I'm not saying that every single pass should be accurate, but basically, if you look at the passing accuracy, particularly on Ultimate Team online, of your team and your opponent's team, I think most of them are in the high 60s, the high 60%, which is just awful, really, because it means you give the ball away so much and you just start getting really frustrated. So passing, in my opinion, is really atrocious. They're just so inaccurate, the passes, and I really don't like passing this year, which is annoying because that was going to be the key theme for me this year, at least I felt so, and I don't like it at all. First touches as well are really inconsistent, and I don't like that either. One of the key reasons why passing doesn't work this year as well as I was hoping was because the first touches of your players are sometimes just absolutely awful, like non-league standard. You're controlling professional football players, and sometimes you'll pass them the ball straight at their feet, and they'll just completely, touch the ball in the wrong direction, and it will go like 5 yards away from them. It's really annoying, but first touches this year, a lot of them are just absolutely awful, and they just never seem to be. When you pass to your player, sometimes you just don't know whether they're going to control it with ease, or they'll just give it back to the opponent. It's really poor and very frustrating. And what a lovely goal this was, by the way, by Marco Ryan Tala. But yeah, passes and first touches, very poor, very inconsistent, don't like that at all. Players don't make supporting runs either. Staying on the passing theme and the build-up theme, your players don't really make good supporting runs, which is really frustrating because when you do want to have a good passing build-up, when you do want to try and split a defense, you need one of your players or two of your players to make a good run and to really give you some kind of support to play a through ball to, or just give you an option, really. But your players don't make supporting runs in FIFA. Now, I've played FIFA since '99, and there was a stage during the late noughties where PES began, being conceived and perceived, I should say, as the better game mode out of FIFA and PES. A while back now, obviously, but PES was seen as the better game, the better video game in terms of FIFA and PES. But I've always stuck to FIFA and never played PES. But every year I have played the PES demo, and I played the PES demo this year, and I really like the fact that your players do make supporting runs on PES. Whereas on FIFA, and if you do get a chance to check it out, by the way, I should say this, I'd still prefer FIFA, obviously, because I'm a FIFA player and a FIFA YouTuber, but if you do get a chance to check out PES demo, do check it out. Your players actually make supporting runs, and you'll be amazed at how better the build-up is on PES compared to FIFA. Players don't make supporting runs on FIFA like they do on PES. PES is way more, just way better, I suppose, for passing build-ups in my eyes, and that's one thing which I wish that FIFA would really sort of work on, really, when it comes down to build-ups. Not just the first touches and the passes, that is important, but also the supporting runs of the players who don't have the ball. So that's another thing right there. And then let's just get on to some more stuff away from the build-up side of the gameplay. The games are really uneventful, I find. You know, I've had the common scoreline this year of 1-0 in the majority of my games, I feel. Most of my games have finished 1-0, or some of the games finished 0-0 as well. I've had so many 0-0s this year. I think I've had more 0-0s in FIFA 16 already than I had in the entire of FIFA 15. 0-0s are just such a common result, and really, it's just annoying because it's just so uneventful, you know. And I'm not saying that every single game needs to be like 5-4 with 2 goals in stoppage time or whatever, but so many of the games are just really boring. Obviously, the irony is in this game here, which you would have seen against Roma, it was actually quite fun. Loads of chances. We won the game 2-1, Balotelli scoring in stoppage time, but this is one of the rare games. This is one of the very rare games where you see more than 2 goals. But either way, games in my opinion are just way too uneventful. Not much stuff happens. There's a lot of sort of, you know, the game, the ball getting stuck in the middle of the park, for example. A lot of that happens in this year's FIFA, and it makes the experience really boring and tedious in my eyes. The next thing we'll move on to is the AI on Legendary is just a complete snooze fest. It really is. The AI on Legendary is just boring as hell. They only ever have one play style, and that is possession. You know, that's as simple as that. They just pass the ball around, and that's about it. They just keep holding the ball, and particularly in their final third, they rarely ever make mistakes. You can play a full, I was going to say full court press. You can play a full pitch press on the AI, but they still won't really mind at all. They'll still pass the ball around like Barcelona, like a training exercise. They don't seem to care at all. It's really poor, but the AI play possession-based football, and you spend, I'd say, you know, 2/3 of the game a lot of the time just watching them knock the ball around. Unless you play for a possession style of football on this year's FIFA, you'll find that you lose a possession battle 9 times out of 10 in games. It's really poor, and it's just annoying because it means that no matter what team you're facing, you know what to expect in the game. You're going to find it hard to get the ball off them, and you're going to watch them pass the ball around like you're not even there for the most part. So yeah, the AI on Legendary, very poor, and they only have one play style, which is just ridiculous really, because it means you could be playing Cambridge United, Fleetwood Town, or you're playing Barcelona and Bayern Munich, and you know that they're going to be playing the exact same way every single game. But still, the next one I'll say is that referees are awful. Referees are absolutely terrible. Decisions are awful. Penalty decisions, you've seen one in this episode where Mason clipped Ryan Taylor, apparently didn't see it at all. You know, some penalties get given and there's no contact whatsoever. Some penalties don't get given when there's loads of contact. I've seen red cards being brandished around for incidents which don't even warrant a yellow card. It's just really weird, but referees this year are just awful, really terrible. And I know that what some people will say is that referees have different styles. Some are more lenient, some are more strict, which is more realistic, which is fair enough. But I still think the amount of basic errors that referees make is just absolutely ridiculous and way too many, to be honest. And the final things I'll discuss are that the presentation is still really poor in my eyes. The commentary is really mundane. I like the tailor the tape and a player to watch and the sort of stuff that Martin Tyler and Alan Smith will discuss pre-game. I like that sort of stuff, but you still don't get a very immersive feel from the game. And if you watch 2K, for example, if you watch some 2K gameplay on YouTube, you'll see just how more immersive it is compared to EA's game. You know, FIFA, the presentation and the layout of the game is really poor. I don't like it at all. Commentary is very mundane. You never get an immersive feel. In my eyes, presentation is way too poor. It's FIFA 16 now. We should be getting way better than just robotic commentary from Martin Tyler and Alan Smith. It's really poor in my eyes, and I just don't like the presentation at all. I was hoping it would have had a lot more work on it this year. And again, the tailor the tape and whatnot before the game is good, but other than that, it's still very poor in my eyes. There are way too many bugs in FIFA 16. I've seen more in FIFA 16 than I did in FIFA 15 already. Way too many bugs, way too many glitches. And the final thing I'll discuss, because otherwise we'll be here for a long time, is that we've had several patches now, and there's been little improvement to the game. There's been loads of patches and some minor tweaks here and there, but the game still is not significantly better than when it started off with. It's still a really poor game, and by now, after the amount of patches there's been, I would have thought it would be a lot better by now. It's still a really poor game, and I would have thought EA by now, with all the patches, could have got it right. But either way, those are all the reasons, or I should say most of the reasons why I don't like FIFA 16. If I was going to discuss them all, we would be here for hours, and I think we'll just leave it there. So what I will say is this, I know some of you guys may be enjoying FIFA 16, and that's great. I really hope you are enjoying the game. A lot of you guys may have got it for Christmas, so I hope you guys have enjoyed it as a present and you're enjoying the game. That's good. But, you know, for me, personally speaking, you know, video games, they're all about opinions, and everyone has different opinions on why the game works for them or why it doesn't. For me, though, that's just loads of reasons why it doesn't work for me. You've heard me complain about the the game. You haven't really heard me give reasons to it, so I thought it was only fair that I do give my reasons as to why I don't like FIFA 16, why it's the worst one I've ever played. And again, if you disagree, that's fine, that's good. I'm glad you disagree, really, because I want you guys to enjoy the game. But for me, I don't like the game, and those reasons are a big reason as to why. So moving on to the third and final commentary topic, and it's about my New Year's resolutions. Something light-hearted to end the episode. I think we need it now. New Year's resolutions, and I've got 5 New Year's resolutions here. And I thought for those of you out there that are still watching the video, goodness knows why, we're half an hour in now. If you've survived half an hour's worth of nattering, then thank you first and foremost, and well done to you. But I thought we'd do this together. I thought we'd do some New Year's resolutions together in today's video, and this is something where I want you guys to comment as well. Now, a lot of people get New Year's resolutions for the new year because it's just fun, really, isn't it, to make New Year's resolutions, but a lot of people don't stick with them. But for me, I want to stick with my New Year's resolutions this year. I want you guys to do so as well, and the reason why it's going to be different to the usual is because we're going to have 5 New Year's resolutions this year, and they're all going to be different for different reasons. So the first New Year's resolution is going to be something which is state of mind. Maybe you feel jealous and envious too much, so you want to change that. So the first New Year's resolution we'll do together is one, a state of mind. The second one is state of body. Maybe you want to lose some weight or gain some weight, for example. So state of body, improve your state of body. The third New Year's resolution will be a selfless act. We need to do something more selfless this year together. The fourth one is going to be a selfish act, actually. We're going to treat ourselves a little bit this year for a New Year's resolution, because I think that when people do New Year's resolutions, it's always trying to improve something negative about themselves. I think we should also try and reward something for ourselves as well, reward our good parts, for example. So something a little bit selfish, a little bit of a treat, for example. And the fifth New Year's resolution could be anything you want. For me, it'll be to try and achieve a life goal, which I will discuss. So my first New Year's resolution, a state of mind one, is to try and be more optimistic this year. For those who don't know me personally, I'm quite a pessimistic person. A lot of people think I'm quite defeatist. I would say I'm more realistic, to be honest, and realist, but a lot of people would say that I'm a bit of a pessimistic person. So this year I want to try and be more optimistic, look at the positives in things more, and just be a bit more of an optimistic person in general. So my New Year's resolution, my first one, is to try and be more optimistic this year. My second one is a state of body one, and I want to try and work harder on my core. I go to the gym whenever I can, but I mainly do sort of workouts for my chest and for my arms and my shoulders as well. I don't really work out on my core very much. So this year what I want to try and do is get some good ab definition. Never really had that before. I've had, quite defined tummy, but I've never really had proper abs, if you will. I don't know whether I'll be able to do that because genetics, first and foremost, my genetics are terrible. Most of my body fat is stored in my belly and also my thighs as well. I'm like a stegosaurus, really. My back is all spiny and bony, yet my belly is just, I'm not fat, I'm pretty lean, to be honest, but it's not really what I want to see. I want to get more tone in that area, so try and work harder on my core. If I could get some kind of ab definition coming the end of the year, I'll be very happy. So my state of body resolution is to try and work harder on my core. My third resolution is a selfless act, and I want to try and give back more to charity. I do donate to charity whenever I can, and I try and give to homeless people when I can as well, but that's not enough in my eyes. I've got to do more. I could do more, and therefore I should do more. So this year I want to try and give back more to charity, do more, and that's my third one. That's my selfless act. My fourth one is a selfish act and a treat for myself. Now, again, I'm including this because when we do New Year's resolutions, we always focus on the negative things about ourselves, don't we? And we always think about the things that we need to improve about ourselves. We never focus on the fact that, we are positive people and there are some positive things about us. Everyone's got positive things about them and everyone's got good things about them. And I think we need to reward ourselves for those things. And in the new year, don't always look at the negative things and think, oh, I've got to do this, got to do that. Think about something positive for you. And for me, I want to treat myself to at least one thing per month. Now, I don't really buy like new clothes or new video games or whatnot. My money basically just gets spent on bills, paying utility bills and the rent and whatnot, and the rest of the money just gets saved. I rarely ever treat myself to anything, but this year I want to have at least one thing per month where I go and do something like an activity, or I buy a materialistic good and I treat myself at least once per month. So for this month, for example, in January, I'll be going to watch Millwall next Saturday against Oldham away. Easy trip for me, living in Manchester now, simple tram journey. I'll go and watch Millwall play. I want to do something like that at least once per month and treat myself a little bit, and I want you guys to do the same as well. There are positive things and good things about you. You should reward those things. Give yourself a treat, maybe like a monthly treat, for example, like me, or maybe you want to go on holiday this year or something, or buy something you've always wanted, something like that. Treat yourself this year. You deserve it. Be a little bit selfish, and always remember that you deserve to be rewarded for the positive things about you, as we all have positive and good things about us. And the fifth and final thing for me it's going to be a life goal. For you, it could be anything you want, but for me, it's a life goal. For me, there's tons of life goals I have. Like, I have a bucket list and things I really want to do by a certain age and so on. Missed a few of them out already, but there are tons of things I want to do in my life. But I'd love to achieve one of my life goals this year. And for me, there's tons of life goals, like things like getting married and having kids and so on. But I think I'm a long way off doing that sort of stuff, sadly. But I'd love to achieve a life goal this year. And one of my life goals is to write a children's book. I've always wanted to do something like that because not every child is this happy, outgoing kind of youngster growing up. Some children don't have the best of young lives, and I've always wanted to write a children's book, particularly for those youngsters out there who may not be experiencing the best times in their lives and just want something to make them feel a little bit normal, really. As a child that grows up and doesn't feel normal, it's a pretty scary experience because your child is supposed to be your happiest time in your life, and when a child doesn't really feel as happy as others around you, it's not great. And if I could write a book to try and bring some normality into their lives, I'd love to do that. I have tons of ideas and tons of ways I'd love to make it, and sort of make it my own sort of creation, which I think would be really, really good to read, I suppose, if you were a child. But I've never really sort of fallen through with it, really. I've just sort of decided to think, I'll start it one day, but I've never bothered. But this year I'd love to write a children's book. Obviously it would never get published or anything, but just to write it and just to read it back and just to maybe hire an illustrator as well, just to do some drawings and stuff. I think that would be really good to see, and maybe one day like a dream would come true and for some reason it would get published. I'd like to see that one day. That would be amazing. But to write a children's book and to write something which is mainly aimed at children out there who aren't exactly feeling as positive as others out there. Maybe they have some low moods, just want something to connect with, really. I think a children's book would be really, really good for me to write, and I've always wanted to for a few years now. I've just never gone through with it. Maybe this year though I would achieve one of those life goals and actually finish, I should say finish, I've got to start it first, and actually make a children's book, hire an illustrator, get someone to do some drawings for me, and even if it's just one copy that gets made that I get to read myself, it would be nice to know I've actually came through with achieving one of those life goals. But anyway guys, those are my 5 New Year's resolutions. I want you guys to do the same as well, so in the comment section down below, please do give me your 5 New Year's resolutions. The first one, a state of mind. The second one, a state of body. Third one, a selfless act. Fourth one, selfish act. And the fifth one, anything you want. Let me know in the comment section down below what you plan to do for the new year, and let's try and achieve our New Year's resolutions together. But thank you so much for watching the episode, guys. That is going to end episode number 100. I just want to say a massive, massive, massive thank you from me to you for watching the series so far. Without you guys, I wouldn't be doing this series and I wouldn't even have a channel, so I cannot say thank you enough for your incredible support on the series so far. I'm having so much fun. We've now reached triple figures. I've still got many more episodes to come and show you guys, so thank you so much for watching the video. Really do hope you have enjoyed it. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a fantastic 2016 as well. Please do let me know your New Year's resolutions. If you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like as well. Don't have to leave a like if you don't want to, but if you have enjoyed the video, please do consider it. And yeah, have a fantastic 2016, guys. Have a fantastic weekend as well. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.